Hello students, we'll continue our class in continuous with the previous class on moment distribution method. We have discussed 2-3 problems on moment distribution method where everywhere the moment of inertia was same in the span. Now in today's class, first we discuss continuous beam with a different moment of inertia, then we will go to the analysis of frames. So let us discuss the problem on the frames without first let's say continuous beam with with a different moment of inertia. So let us take an example. So in this example, let us take the both end fixed, and here is you have a roller support. Also, you have a roller at C. We have fixed end. Here is the roller. Now on the spans, the problem is what we are discussing. This is moment of inertia of this span is given 1.5 I. Moment of inertia this section is given I. Moment of inertia of this section is given as 2. Now let us take the supports A, and B, C, and D. And the span is here is 6 meter. This span is V meter, and this span is 8 meter. So they are not to scale. They have written some values like this. So these are the things, and load is given here 30 kilonewton at the center. Here is a point load acting 30 kilonewton, and the distance is 4 meter. This is and there is a UDL here 20 kilonewton per meter. 20 kilonewton per meter. And there is also another load here at a distance of 4 meter. Yes, again from here to here is 4 meter. So it is a not at the center, and this is 60 kilonewton. So now we have to calculate the draw the BM. You draw the bending moment diagram. Now, like all the problems, you have to go for the same thing here. We have to calculate the fixed end moment first, then thickness of the members, and then distribution factor at the joints, and then we'll go for the moment distribution. Now let us first find out solution. We'll do the solution. So first things you have to do fixed end moments. So if you take the fixed end moment, so what the for FMAB, what the value for AB, fixed end moments FMAB. Or you can write MFF. Just make it here. The moment. And take M, F, AB, fixed end moments for AB. So that value will be, because it is point for distance AB minus W A square by H. Already you know. So put the values minus 60, A is equal to 4, U is equal to 3 square divided by 10. So this comes out to be minus 26.67 kilonewton. Calculate by your calculator. Similarly, if you go for MF EA, that will be minus square So minus 6 plus, this is plus, minus this is plus. So this is equal to 3 into 4 square into 2 by 6. And this comes out to be 53.33. All of that. Kilonewton meter. Right? So because this is plus, so this is minus, this is plus. Now let us go to MFBC. MFBC is equal to minus MFCB because it is both are same of equal and opposite sign minus WL square by 12. So I am writing directly the value W. L square is 3 square 9. Right? And this comes out to be minus 50. Similarly, at that center, it will be minus WL by 8. So MFCD is equal to MF minus MFBC, that is equal to minus WL by 8. Right? So that is equal to minus W is 30. L is equal to also 8. One is 8. So this comes out to be minus 30 kilonewton. Okay. So now we first find out the fixed end moments for different ends of the span. Let us calculate the stiffness of each joint. Next we'll calculate the distribution factor. The next thing is calculate the distribution factor. Let's calculate the distribution factor. Dm. And for this, you draw a in a tabular form. Okay. Now we can find the joints. The joints are two joints, B and C. Joint B. Then we have the joint C, right? Joint B and joint C. So two joints, member B and C, they are joints. What are the members? So members will be equal to this BA, BC, BB, and C. Now write the value of K. You can go for K 4EI by L. Either you go for relative stiffness I by L and all, or you can write 4EI by L. Okay, 4EI by L. So that becomes 4EI by L is equal to 6 per span. So it becomes 4, and I is equal to here we have to check the I value is 1.5. So please change this value. I is equal to, here it is 1.5. So you write down this value is 1.5. So now it will 1.6, so it becomes EI. Even for BC it is 4 EI by L. 4 EI L is equal to 3. So becomes 4 by 3 EI. Okay. Or you can say this comes out to 1.33 EI. If you go for calculations, what will value? The sigma K will come as here 2.33i, right? And you can write down the distribution factor. The distribution factor is K by sigma K, right? So you can find out 1 by 2.33 or 1 by 4 by 3. You can find out the value. So EI by 2.33 EI. So that will give 0.429. So this value comes 0.429, and the bottom value will come 0.571. So we will add both the things. It must be. Similarly, we can calculate here for BC and CB same. So this will be 1.33i similarly. And for this again it is 4ei by L, but here I is equal to 2i. This is how we can incorporate the values. So 4ei is equal to 2i, right? By L is equal to 8. So 8 by 8 it becomes ci. In the similar way it will be 2.33i, and this will be 0.571. This is 0.571, and this is equal to 0.429. So this now becomes the distribution factor. Once you find the distribution factor, then the next step is to find the moment distribution. Now let us go to the moment distribution. So we'll do for this moment distribution. So the next item is moment distribution. Moment distribution. We will make a table for the moment distribution. Now take the value. So let us draw a table for that. I have already done these things. So we'll go for the first joints. What are the joints? We'll go to the joints first. What are the joints? Joints is A. Then we have the joints is B. Then joint C. And then joint is E. Right? Now, what are the members? We can write down the members for each things. So next is members. Members will be here AB. Third is BA, and BC. Right? The two members under this category. Then CB and CD, and then the member is. Write down these members. Now draw the lines here, and now these members will be. Okay. Now you can make it two parts, B and BC. That CB and CD will be divided into two parts. So now write down the distribution factors. What are distribution factors? So this is a fixed end. This will be 0. Here it is 0.429, 0.429. Here it is 0.571. Okay. Here it is 0.571, and here it is 0.429. This is equal to 0. So write the distribution factors for each. So once you write the distribution factor, so the next step is calculate the fixed end moments you have to write down. What are the fixed end moments for different ends that you have to write down? Here it is minus 26.67, minus 26.67, and then here comes 53.33 positive, 53.33, and here we'll get minus 15, and here the value is plus 15, and here is minus 30, and here it is plus 30, right? So write the values very clearly. Now we'll balance. Now once you write the fixed, because of the both ends are fixed, so no moment is going to be balanced. If it is either overhanging or it is simply supported or hinged, then first you have to make the joint balance, and then we have to go to the initial moment, and then we have to start the balance the moment. Now here, because there is both ends are fixed, so we'll go for balancing the section. Balance. Okay, what the balance moments now? Calculate balance moment. Now you see the joint as 53.33 and minus 15. So what the next value? 53 minus 15, 38.33. Now 38.33 multiply 0.4, 38.33 is the net unbalanced moment. So to balance, you have to apply minus 38.33. You multiply minus 38.33 into 0.429. This becomes minus 16.44. So this will be minus 16.4. Similarly, if you multiply the minus 38.33 into 0.571, this comes out to be minus 21.8. So come to here the come to this joint C. Okay, we have the CB and CD. We'll find the joint C. Now here, what is the unbalanced moment? The unbalanced moment is 15. Now 15 and minus 30. So the what is the unbalanced moment? That is minus 30. Minus 30 plus 15. Minus 15, you have to apply plus 15. So plus 15 into 0.57 will come here. So it will be 8.57, and here it will be 6.40. So I think now you are clear, because the both ends are fixed. So we'll there is no joint balancing prior to going for the balancing the all the joints. So let us come to the joint B. The joint B, you have two members BA and BC. The net unbalanced moment is this is 53.33 minus 15, that is plus 38.33. Then you have to apply minus 38.33. So minus 38.33 into 0.429. This much of moment will come here, and minus 38.33 into 0.571 will come to here. Similarly, at joint C, there is minus 30 plus 15. So the net unbalanced moment is minus 15. So apply plus 15. Plus 15 into 0.571 will come here. Plus 15 to 0.49 will come here. Now this balancing moment will be carried over to the now half of this will come here, right? Half of this go will here, and half will come here, and half will come here. So this value is the same size, same sign convention. So carryover will be here minus 8.22, right? And here it will be here nothing is come, so it will come here. So this value will be 4.29. Make a round figure. Here will be minus 10.95. So no moment come here. Now moment is coming here. That is 3.2. So that is allowed. 6.43 to 3.215. We make it 3.1. So we complete one cycle. Similarly, now go to balancing the sections. Carry over then the balance. Onto the balancing. The balancing, what will happen now? It will count joint B by the net moment plus 4.29. So you have to apply minus 0.429. Minus 0.49 into 0.429 will come minus 1.8, right? And here it will come minus 2.45. Have to come to joint C. The net unbalanced moment is minus 10.95. So you will apply plus 10.1595. So 10.95 into 0.571, that will give the value of 6.25. So that will be positive 6.25, and here it will be 4.770. Okay. Now from this again we will go for doing the carryover balance. Will go on continue like this. So let us draw the lines first. So these lines will come like this. The end. To complete this, all the cycles till the value is converted. Okay. Now really carry over. So like from here to come here, only minus 0.92. We already know how to the carryover occurs. Here it will come to this side. So it will be 2.45 will come here. So that will be 1.23. Then here it will be 3.13. This value will be minus, right? So minus 0.92. Then here comes from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Was 3.1213, 1.23, and here to here. So this will be. So this is another carryover complete. So again you do balancing. So this step will go on continue like this. Now it will balance. What will happen? And you have the post here plus 3.13. You have to apply minus 1.1 minus 3.1. So this will be minus 1.34. Multiply this value 0.429. Multiply with 0.571. It will be minus 1.79. And then here it will be minus 1.23. So apply plus 1.23. So it will be 0.7. And here it will be 0.5. Now again go up carry over. And again carry over and balance. So go on doing this. I'm just writing the values. So accordingly you have to change the value. So it will be minus 0.67. Will be here 0.35. Will be minus 1.79. So it will be plus 0.35 here, 0.35 carry over. Come from here, 0.35. Here it will be minus 0.9. 0.9 will come because 1.8 minus 0.9. Now it will balance. So it will balance it. It will now here plus 0.35. You have to apply minus 0.35. So it is minus 0.15 minus 0.2 minus 0.9. So apply plus 0.9. So accordingly you will find the values. So minus 0.9, if apply plus 0.9, it will be come to the both sides. One is 0.51 will be come to here, and 0.39 will come. Now you again do carry over. So half of will come here. So half will be minus 0.08, right? That will be minus 0.1. That will be this half of this will be 0.26. And here it will be 0.2. Now it will balance and that will be final. Will not go further because it is now come to 0.08, 0.1. So we can stop it. After doing another cycle, and make it complete. We will find the final moments here. Final moments. Okay. Final values. Now, if you will make it balance now, what will the value here? Minus 0.11. So it is plus 0.2. So apply minus 0.26. Minus 0.15. Minus 0.1. You apply plus 0.1. It is 0.06. And it is comes 0.0. Stop here. Now what we'll do? We'll go on adding all the values. The final moment, as you know, you have to calculate all the values and add it sigma of all the values in the column. So So this comes out to be 36 point minus 36.56. Okay, and this comes out to be 33.45. This definitely must come now minus 33.45, and this value comes out to be 17.91. So this must come minus 17.91, make it equal and opposite, and this value comes 36. So this is one complete example of the problem we solve, how to make this balance and carry over, and how to go. Now, once you find out all these, values, now we have to draw the bending moment diagram. Now you go for this your bending moment diagram. Now you have all the values. Now draw this section. Now we have a point A here. What is here? Minus 36.56. So minus 36.56 means it is anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise movement means, let us give the names if you want to be more clarity. A, B, C, let it value 8 meter, 3 meter, 6 meter. So now at A it is minus 36. Minus 36 means it is acting anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise movement means bending moment to negative. You apply here. Apply here 36.56. Or the value here 33.45. So here the clockwise means, this end, this is negative. So it comes 33 points. So this value comes 33.45. Again, this is minus 31. This is anti-clockwise, so it comes negative. Now come to C, it is 17.91. So you come here 17.9. So this is 17.91. Now can come to here. What is the value at D? At value D 36.04. It is clockwise means again it will be negative. So anti-clockwise negative means it will be negative here. So you draw the value here 36.04. So you write the value 30. Now draw this line. Now all these values are the end moments, that are the negative values. Now with these we have to provide this value of positive values. Now what are the positive values? In the first span you have this load of 60 kilonewton. You have the load of 60 kilonewton at a distance of 4 meters from here. So what is the simple supported value? WAB by L. WAB by L is the bending moment due to simple support. So W is equal to 60, A into 4, and B is equal to your B is equal to the value is given 2 by 6. So 10 into 4 into 2, 8. So this value come here is 8. So now we put this value. So this is 8. Similarly, here it is UDL, WL square by 8. So value is given WL square by 8 means 20 into 3 square by 8. So it comes out 22.5. Now if you find this comes like this. It will touch here and come like this. So if you take from here to here half, it is also comes out to be 22.25 or less than this value. So this value is come 22. Now the entire value will be now negative. The bending moment negative, and this will be positive. And here again WL by 4. So it will be WL by 4 means 30 into 4, 30 into 4 by 8. So WL by 4 means 30 into 8 by 4. It will be 60 here. So you can take the value 60 here. So this value comes out to be right. So now this is negative. Positive. So draw the diagram now. This will be positive. So this will be your bending moment diagram, right? So this is how you have to draw the bending moment diagram. Already you are acquainted with this continuous beams to draw the bending moment diagram. Now this will be the BMD, bending moment diagram. If you are interested to draw the shear force diagram on maximum bending moment, you have to find each span equilibrium conditions. Suppose I want AB, so I have to put like this. What is the equilibrium of AB? So equilibrium of AB will be like this way. There is a moment of here clockwise movement 33.45. There is a clockwise moment of 36.56, and here is a load of 60 kilonewton. A distance of 4 meter here, 2 meter here. Now I have to solve this. I have to solve this problem to find reaction VA and VB or RA and RB. Similarly, for each span, you can find out the reactions. Then you can draw the shear force diagram. And wherever the shear force changes sign, you can find the maximum positive bending moment and maximum negative moment of the wave. So this part already we have studied in your. We have already studied in your slope deflection method, where we have discussed how to make equilibrium of each span and to draw the shear force diagram and to find out the maximum positive bending moment diagram in the span. So that part you can do yourself and then find the results for that. So in addition to that, because the problem will be lengthy, they may not ask to find out this shear force diagram, and you can only draw the bending moment diagram. If at all the question comes shear force diagram, then you have to split each span and find the equilibrium of each span. Then for each span, find the reactions at each end, and then find out the shear force diagram. So wherever the shear force changes sign, there will be the maximum. That part you have to find out and then do it. So with this, we give 3-4 examples of these continuous beams. We have seen one continuous beam with its support settlement, one continuous beam with both hand fixed, one continuous beam with the hinged, one is overhanging with support like that way. And this also we now discussed the problem where the spans have a different moment of inertia. So either of the problem will come. So if we conceptually clear, then you can solve any kind of problem. Let us go to for this next problem we'll discuss. Next we'll discuss regarding this uh, sway, frame sway. We'll go for the frame sway that we'll now discuss. So we have completed this calculations for these continuous beams with different types of problems. The problems may be any. So if you know the conceptually clear, then you can solve the problem. So there will be a lot of questions, a lot of variations in the support conditions, then moment of inertia, then sinking of supports. So there is no support, no sinking, and all the support may sinks or one support sinks. So accordingly, you have to put your basics knowledge or the fundamental knowledge to solve the problems. Now, moment distribution, we'll go for moment distribution method applied to frames. Now, what happens in frames? We have already discussed for the frames. Also in slope deflection, we have discussed the same thing applicable in case of moment distribution. The frames may sway or may not sway. There will be side sway, there will be no sway. So you know how the section will sway. So to sway this section, there may be different kind of supports. There may be different moment of inertia of the columns. There may be different heights of the columns. There may be different loadings in the column. There may be centrical loads on the beams. So any of the combinations or any one may rise to the sway problem. The frame will sway towards right or left, depends as you will assume, and then kind of. Now, to prevent the sway, we have also already discussed that if any of these supports be given in the horizontal direction, either it is a hinge support, it is a fixed support. So by any means, if we will prevent the lateral deflection or the horizontal deflection is prevented, then whatever may be the condition of these frames, it will not sway. So by seeing the problem, its geometry, its boundary conditions, then we can say the frame will sway or frame will not sway. Now let us do one example in this class, and we'll solve another two examples in the next class. Now in this problem, what is being given? You can now see. So it is the problem is given analysis a frame. Analysis a frame shown in a figure by moment distribution method, and draw the bending moment. The M by EI or the EI is constant. Now see the problem. So in this frame, what is it being given? You see the support A is fixed and support D is. So there are two different kind of supports. So it must sway. And also there is a horizontal load given here. All the conditions are given for sway, but this frame will not sway because you have provided there is a provision of horizontal hinge support is given in the horizontal direction. And so whatever sway will come, let us see. Whatever sway will come, whatever sway will come here, okay, like this, with the value comes delta here, sway that will be prevented by this horizontal reaction. So there will be no sway. By seeing the problem, you have to decide whether it will sway or not sway, because the analysis for sway problem is different. Analysis for non-sway problem is different. So this is a non-sway problem. Let us solve this problem. Now here the span is given 6 meter, and here the span is 4 meter. Now you see in the span AB, then span CD, then span CE, there is no loading anywhere. There is no load, so there is no fixed end moments. No load means the MFAB, MFBA, MFCD, MFDC, MFCE, MFDC, all will be equal to 0. So no load means there will be no fixed end moments. Unless otherwise there is no load, how moments will come in this? So you can take that there is no load, so there will be no fixed end moment. Now only fixed end moments will be at BC. It will be UDL. So MFBC will be minus WL square by 12, and MFCB will be plus WL square by 12. Now again you see there is a horizontal load given here 20 kilonewton. This load will not take part any fixed end moment because it is applied in the joint. If there is any load applied in joint, suppose if I will apply load here like this at joint C. So this load will not give any kind of fixed end moment because the load will go directly to the joint. That is a joint reaction. It will not be given any kind of moments or the fixed end moments. Okay, so you should clear on these things. Now because here it is applied in the horizontal direction 20 kilonewton, it will not give any fixed end moments for the span EA or span BC. It is simple a joint load. They only will give you to solving the problem to find the horizontal reactions. We'll put sigma h 0, then this will be complete. Now here this. So first we find out the fixed end moments. So once you find the fixed end moments, then you go for the distribution factor. Now we have the joint B and joint C. At joint B, we have the member BA and member BC. But if you come to for the joint C, we have three members. One is CD, one is CE, one is CD. So you have to calculate the distribution factor accordingly. Now for joint BA, now here I have told already. I have told some problems. Either you can take the relative stiffness, or you can take member stiffness. Only stiffness. Only stiffness is 4EI by L for both ends fixed. One end is fixed, other end is supported or hinged. Then that becomes EI by L. In the other sense, if you are taking the relative stiffness, if both ends are fixed, it becomes I by L. One of the ends is hinged, other end is fixed, it will be 3 by 4 I by L. So either we can do, and if you are confusing yourself, always go for member stiffness 4EI by L, 3I by L. That will give the easy way of doing it if you are not comfortable with the relative stiffness. In some books, you'll find the problem is solved by taking relative stiffness. Some books will find it taken the member stiffness. Both are correct. Indirectly, you find the same answers in the both cases. The same distribution factor will be obtained. So now, if it is relative stiffness for BA I by L, so I by 5, and all are the same I. There is no different boundaries. EI is given constant. Okay. So since EI is constant, all the spans of the motor is equal to I. Now put the value for BA I by 5, BC I by 6. So sigma K comes out to be 11 by 30. That is I by 5. So I by 5 plus I by 6. Okay. So you combine. So 5 into 6 means it comes 30. 30 by 5 is 6. 30 by 6 is 5. So it becomes 11 by 30. It is 11 by 30. So what is the stiffness? That 1 by 5 by 11 by 30. 1 by 5 by 11 by 30. So that becomes 30 by 55. So you can calculate the value. It becomes 0.55. Okay. So you can say I by 1 by 5, I by 5, and then 11 I by 30. So I will cancel. So 30 will go top. So 30 by 55. You can take the value. Here it is 1 by 6. So 30 by 50. So calculate the value. It will become 0.55. And similarly, other case it is I by 6 divided by 11 I by 30. So that comes out to be 30 by 60. 66 means 10 by 22. So this comes out to be 0.4. You can calculate by calculator or do like this way. So I am just giving an example. So these values comes 0.55 and 0.4. Right? Now let us come for this joint C. In joint C, we have the three members: CB, D, and C. Now we can put I by 6 at the for span CB. For span CD, it is taken 3 by 4. And also C taken 3 by 4. Why it is being taken like that way? The frame, you just go to the frame. Now here the span CD and CE. Both the span, this end and this end is hinged. When one end, this end is fixed with continuous, is fixed. So one end is fixed, other end hinged, so it will be 3 by 4. So If you not do here 3 by 4, the entire calculation becomes wrong. Your distribution factor wrong, and everything becomes calculation. So you should be very careful while solving the problems and taking the values properly. So that is why if you have taking, if you are very confused, you take this is 4 ei by l, this is 3 I by l, this is 3 I by l, and this is 4 ei by l. 4 ei by l. You can take like that. Or if you are taking this relative stiffness I by l, I by l, 3 by 4 I by l, 3 by 4 I by l. So you take properly 3 by 4 I by l and calculate the value. It comes 0.51 I, and you find 0.33, 0.3, 0.37. Now you combine all these things, what the value is coming? 0.37, 0.33 will be 0.7 plus 0.3. So at a joint, always distribution factor is equal to 1. That I have told earlier. So now I am. So this is how we'll find out the values of distribution factor, and be careful and see properly whether if the ends is simply supported or hinged on end, then it will be 3 ei by l or 3 by 4 I by l for the relative stiffness. Very clear on that. Now once you complete this, we'll go for the moment distribution. Okay. Now you do this moment distribution table. You take joint A, B, C, D, E, all the joints you take. Now here the joint member DC and EC, okay, the C. You know the moment here must be 0 and the moment here must be 0. So that has to be balanced. So what are the members? DC and EC. DC and AC. That is why he has written at DC and AC. Now write down the members AB, BA, BC. In the C, we have the joint CB, CD, and CE, and here member DC and AC. So write the distribution factors. So it will be for the simply supported ends, it will be 1, and for the fixed end 0, and others we have already found out 0.55, 0.45, 0.35, 0.3, and 0.4. These three, the three members comes under joint C, right center. Now, whatever the unbalanced moment come at the joint C, they will be distributed to the member CB, E, and C by multiplying their distribution factor. If there is some, you are balancing some section C, suppose the moment comes 10. So 10 into 0.33 goes to CB, 10 into 0.3 will go to CB, 10 into 0.37 go to CB. So this is the principle. If there is a number of joints meeting, number of members are meeting at the joint, the unbalanced moment, when you do the balancing, then the balanced moment, whatever the sign convention you are, that multiply the distribution factor will go to the respective members. Now write the fixed end moments 0, 0, minus 15, minus 15, 0, 0, 0, 0, everywhere 0. Since the member there is no moment is already 0 in the at the member DC and DC already 0, so there is no need to again release the moment and make balance it. So had it been there some loads and it becomes some fixed moments, then we have to first balance this, then we have to proceed the problem. Now here, since it is already 0, there is no load on these spans, so we should not worry about that. So all the members, like you see here also 0, 0, here 0. So now where is the unbalanced moment? The unbalanced moment is the member here. In the joint B, it is minus 15. In joint C, it is plus 15. This is the unbalanced moment. So to balance, so we apply here plus 15. So plus 15 into 0.55 will be 8.25. Plus 15 into 0.5 is 6.75. Okay. Similarly, here it is plus 15. You have to apply minus 15. So now minus 15 into 0.6 will come here 4.95. Minus 15 into 0.3 will come here is minus 4.5, and multiply by 0.3 will be minus 0.55. 15 into minus 15 into 0.67. Now, once the balance it will carry over from BA, it will come to this joint A. From BC it will go to CB. From CB it will go to BC, and there is no other moment will go to anywhere in the place, because there will be no transformation from here to here, because they have to zero moment. Once it is zero, there will no moment will come carry over to this side from C to CD. Now you see, now here the drawing. Just go on the top. What I am telling, that no moment will come from here to here. That is from CD. From CD, no member will come to D. From C, no moment will come to E, because they are already hinged. So they will not take carry any moment. So there is no carryover. You see, there is no carryover to DC and DC. No carryover to DC and DC, because they are hinged. They are already having zero moments, so you cannot carry that part there. So now I think once you understand this balance carryover concepts, then you have to go for doing cycle after cycle. Go on doing cycle after cycle till the value will be converging. See where it has converges 0.05, 0.04, 0.04, 0.04, 0.05. Initially it was what the initial value minus 15 is. Unbalanced moment was minus 15 plus 15 minus 15. Now it will come down to 0.04 minus 0. When you come to this level, so you should not go further, because by doing another 3-4 steps, there will be very marginal changes in the final moment, or it does not matter. And finally, you are going to do it in examination, solve the problems. Should not spend more time by doing more cycles. If you can stop also before 1-2 cycles, then also it is okay. So only they will deduct 1 mark on that, but you will save time to do other problems. So don't do for 10 cycles, 15 cycles to solve the problems. You stop after 3-4 cycles. That will be sufficient for your understanding. So he has taken a carryover for this fixed end. It does not matter if you take or don't take, you will come to here, because the value is hardly 0.03. Does not matter the overall moment. That is a fixed end. So now you find the final moment. So find the final moment. You have to go on as we have discussed earlier. To find the final moment, what we'll do? We have to add all the moments here to find this value. You have to add all the moments here in this column, including the fixed moments. Sorry, including the fixed moments. Including the fixed moments. Get 0 here. Somewhere the value will come here. Now all these values will be added. Will give this value. All the values will be here added. So this will give rise to this value, and all the moments here in this column you go on adding. Okay, it will come to this value, and similarly you go on adding this value, and go on adding this. And here already you have 0, and here also already 0. After doing this, you'll find these two values must be same. So this is one joint, so one should be opposite to that. And here also, to find the summation of all the moments must come to 0, or the negative moment is equal to the positive moment. It is 12.78. If you add this 5 plus 7 minus 12, 72 plus 6, 78. So this will be also minus 12.7. So from this you can know your answer is correct, or you have done the correct calculation. Now once all these moments comes, then we have to go for the bending moment diagram. Now draw the bending moment diagram. Here it is plus 5. So plus 5 means it is clockwise. So clockwise from this side is positive, so you have to show the positive sign here. Inner side positive, outer side is negative. Okay. Now it is plus 9.97 means here clockwise in this end. So clockwise end this means it will be negative bending moment, minus 9.97 to come to this side. Here minus 9.97 plus 12.78. So minus 9.97 means is anti-clockwise here, and plus one this is anti-clockwise here, and is clockwise here 12. So clockwise movement here is negative bending moment, and your anti-clockwise movement is a negative bending moment. So draw this value, write this value. Similarly, what the value here? You can find out the value comes here is 5.7 to 7.06. The 7.06 here, that is minus and minus 5.2. So minus means again here anti-clockwise, here also anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise means a negative. So both are put to negative. So from 12 it will come down 7. Now it will come to 0 here. And from here to here it will come now the 0 value. Once you find the 0 values, then we have to superimpose. What superimpose? The simple supported bending moment. What is the simple supported bending moment? You have only the loads here. Okay. So you can find out WL square by 8. WL square by 8 means 5 into 6 square by 8. So 5 into 6 square by 8, 36 by 8. So it will come around 22.5. So now he has not shown. You can show here also. This is your diagram. This is positive. Positive. You can show this is your bending moment diagram. Positive moment is negative. So negative means all these are negative. So these all are negative. Your sign of negative, right? And here the negative sign goes. So you can draw the bending moment diagram that you already know. And if you are interested, you can also find the horizontal reaction. You can put the sigma h CR is equal to 0. Already we have discussed in slope deflection method. The same method can be applied here to find out the value. So with this, we'll stop today's class, and thank you all for attending this class.